Tayo nakaka-curious to. About saan kaya ata? Huh. John Sparrow game. KKK. Paano gagawin? Hindi ako gumagalaw. Ito wala. Ayun, gumagalaw. Okay. Loading lang kanina. Ano to? Asan yung play? Title. Gusto kong title lang. Ano to? Flowers. Yun na pala yun. Start na agad yun. Wala nang play. Paano? Yung pipindutin. Hindi ako tinuturuan. Trigger.
A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you. And I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning. With the house.
The house. May zoom. Okay. Zoom din. Dalawang
I
takbo.
lived here until I was 11, but I wasn't allowed inside half the rooms.
Half of the... Okay. Wala bang takbo? Na-trigger nga yung... Ano tayo?
Inside the
Okay.
mailbox were bills from 7 years ago, marked urgent, open immediately.
Wala na yun.
I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral.
Ano nangyari sa... tayo yun. Kala ko tatalon. Binangga niya lang. Wala bang takbo? Tayo yun. Ano nangyari?
In her will, my mother left me a key, but
Oh.
didn't tell me what it unlocked.
Ano ito yung key?
Maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back.
Dito ba? Saan yung daan? Palaka
No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints.
Ano yung hoof prints? Nataan yan. Kaya pala hoof prints. Ano pala yun? Hello. Di pwede.
The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to.
Okay. At least may bahay ka na. Ay, taan yan. Ayoko
The
na
house
pala.
was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd
Bakit?
been dreaming about it.
Ang creepy naman ng bahay na yan. Parang haunted house. Horror ba to? Ewan. Pero ang astig nung patong-patong dun. Kasi doon sa pinaka-tok-tok.
As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words.
Ako kasi mukha, parang horror house kasi yun.
I knew exactly what those words were. I was afraid of the house.
Nakakatakot naman kasi talaga yung itsura tao. Saan tayo punta? Dito. Tingin ko dito. Taan yan. Pasya ka, boy.
Prowling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11.
Ano to? Ito.
The power had been turned off the night we left. For the first time in years,
Ano?
I felt like I was home.
Ah, okay. Hindi niya tinuloy hanggang di tayo papasok.
But instead of a family, there were just memories of one.
One?
Like how after Lewis started working at the cannery, we all got sick of eating salmon. Except our cat, Molly.
Boy pa ba si Molly? Molly ba?
The table was still a wreck from the night we left.
Baka umalis.
Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it, like a smile with too many teeth.
Magana pa ba to?
Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house, after it sank.
No? Yung original. Tapos dilugtong ano ng dumugtong. Sino yun? Ah, ano to?
Mom always told me to stay out of the basement, so I wasn't too surprised when the key didn't fit.
Ah, hindi yan dito. Okay. Huh.
Great-Grandpa Sven built a music box for Barbara, along with the rest of the house.
Barbara Finch. Sino si Barbara? Ay, dito tayo kanin-kanin. Tayo sa sala. Ano to? Bakit tinarangan? May glue.
My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive.
Nangyari sa kay Milton. Cute na ito. May pang taas. Pwede ba tayo sumakay dito? Opo ako. Hindi pwede.
After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Then Edie retaliated and drilled peepholes.
Wala. Okay. Ah, kaya may mga ano, may mga glue. Taan yun. Dito. There. Oh, may bukas dito.
I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up.
Ganda dito. Cute.
Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him.
Bakit din?
Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets.
Taan yan totoo.
Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of.
Astig. Oo nga. Maangas na, no?
Reading this, maybe it sounds like I had a plan. But I had no idea what was behind that door.
Oh, pati na room to.
Just like I had no idea where all this was gonna lead.
Saving.
I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole.
Ito yung ano, kaninang room na nakasiw.
Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own even tinier gerbil cage.
Mini version.
Inside for the first time, I felt like I'd stepped behind a painting.
Ngayon niya lang nakita itong loob. Molly.
I got the sense Edie had spent a lot of time here before my mom sealed the doors.
Ano ba si Edie? Molly Finch.
December 13th, 1947.
Yan, kita boses.
Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat.
Something to eat. Kasi Molly tayo ngayon.
The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it.
Tayo yung kinain niya.
Mom, can I come out now?
Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep.
Oo. Ano to? Ay, ang liit niya talaga, ano. Hindi niya paabot ng...
I kept eating and eating.
Tayang pati yung toothpaste kinain niya.
I ate a lot of things that night.
Okay. Tapos?
Then I heard chirping outside my window. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest.
Cute na
I reached
boss.
out for her.
Ay, tayo niya pati ito naka ano.
And suddenly,
Ay, tayo ka.
I was a cat.
Hoy. Loko. Saan na yun?
I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared.
Tayo niya naging cut ang wala.
I jumped and I almost got her.
Sayang. Nasaan na ibon?
I could tell she was getting really tired.
Nasaan na yun? Ito.
Now I was up in the big tree. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore.
Ito.
All I cared about was eating that mama bird.
Tayo naging ibon. Uy, nahuli. Tayo niyan.
And suddenly, I was an owl.
Ha?
First, all I heard was the wind. Then I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass.
Tapos?
Rabbits.
Rabbits? Ito. Paano bumaba? Tayo, nasa yung rabbit. Ito. Oh, huli.
I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then I flew off to find something bigger.
Ano? Ano mas malaki sa rabbit?
A mama rabbit.
Ha? Tayo hindi nahuli. Nasaan na yun? Huli.
She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark.
Ay, tayo yan. Ba't naging shark? Ha? Taan yan. Sige, maging shark ka dyan. Walang tubig. Taan yan. Pangit tong shark. Pindot. Ang hirap pa. Sige, hanap tayo tubig. Aray.
I rolled off a cliff and into the
Aray.
ocean. Now, I was hungrier than ever.
May taan yan.
I wanted fat, juicy seeds.
Nasaan na yun? Nawala. Taan yan. Nawala. Nasaan na? Taan yan. Naliligaw ako. Ayun. Atay ka. Ang hirap kontrolin, ha? Sana yun? Atay. Ay. Yun. Huli.
I tore off her flipper and it tasted really good.
Ah, okay. Hindi yung pa nahuli.
Grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. When I
Huh?
opened my eyes, everything had changed.
Ano ka naman ngayon? Ha? Ano ka? Octopus?
Now I was a monster and I smelled people everywhere.
Wala, oo nga, taan yan. Tayo punta.
I was big, but I moved real quiet.
Ano tayo? Gulat ako. Tayo. No, kinain niya. Tayo, nagugulat ako. Kinakakuha ako. Ba't siya naging ganito ang weird taan yan?
I wanted to stop, but also I didn't.
Taan yan. Kinain na naman niya. May daan ba dito? Ah, wala. Saan ba? Ah, taan yan. Tayong kakainin na naman.
Last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have, so I swam towards it. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe.
Good smell, old pipe, tain. Ay, pataas. Kala ko pababa. Ah, yung CR niya.
I got closer and closer.
Saan tayo? Loko, saan tayo pupunta? Ito ba? Ay, hindi. Ah, dun.
All my stomach started growling. And suddenly, I was me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall asleep. But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed, and we both know I will be delicious.
No?
I'm
Molly.
not sure if I believed all of that, but I'm sure Edie would have.
Edie? Sino ba si Edie? Ano si Edie dito? Ah, ito. Lolo niya. What? Ayun. Magta-transform ka din ba? Tain. Kala kong ta-transform ka din.
This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but Mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. I spent a lot of time in Great-Grandma Edie's room. We got along, and it was a good place to hide from my mom. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't.
Ah, ito. Dragon kills Finch. Si Edie, yung lola
Even
niya.
in her 90s. Sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother.
Wait lang, ano to? Built 1937, Sven. Yung lolo niya, si Sven.
One summer, they evacuated the island, but Edie refused to go. For a few weeks, she was a celebrity.
Ano to?
I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long, long time.
Edith Jr. late.
Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living under the Finch house. My mom was furious. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones.
Ah, hindi tayo pwede bumalik. No? Ito. Ano to?
Louis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him.
Oo, stig oh. Painting sa kahoy.
Her room was like a museum.
Ano to?
For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune.
Wait lang. Baka pwede i-play.
Odin Finch buries the latest victims of the family curse, his wife Ingeborg and their newborn son, Johann. On January 7th, 1937, he set sail with his family and his house,
Ha? Pati
hoping to
house.
leave the curse behind.
Tain.
But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea.
Pero yung house hindi.
Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island.
Ah.
Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch
Wala
house.
tumawa sa inyo. Okay, tapos na.
Whatever's wrong with this family, it goes back a long ways.
Mhm. Naka-ano din to, naka-seal. Meron dito.
The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife Kay left on the house was the pink bathroom.
Race Grandpa
It was
Sam's
a pretty
Farm.
big trace.
Oo nga eh. Pink lahat mo. Ang meron dito. Pwede buksan. Buksan pala pero hindi pwede. Eto, ano to? Ay! Ganun ulit. Libro ulit. There's a secret in this bathroom. Okay. Nako, ito na
There's a
naman
secret
tayo.
in this bathroom.
Ano meron?
It's in the last place you would look.
Ang galing na nga ito.
It isn't in the cupboard.
Saan?
It's hidden in this book.
Ay, ito ay. Ano naman? Oh. Astig.
Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down.
Mm-hmm.
From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me.
Okay. Fort Calvin. Ito na ba yan?
I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin.
Nalala niya din to.
And that he never talked about him.
Ano to? Ito, ayan. Mamaya. Punta mo tayo sa taas. Mayroon dun sa taas. Ando, sige, dito nga muna tayo. Cute. Boom, boom, boom. Puntaan niya na naman to. Oh, ano yun? Ba't may release? Hindi ako pwede ba bumalik? Titingnan ko pintaas.
I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did.
Good.
How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it.
Okay. Ba't bali yung baka na ito? Sa ba yun?
My brother
Kapatid mo?
said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did.
Namatay? Ah, namatay? Ano gagawin? Swing lang ba ako dito forever? Baka titigil na ako. Ay, tayo. Ay, okay. Parang pause. Ay, tingnan nga natin yung ano nito. Milton, kapatid niya. Okay. Gagawin. Ba't di ako makaswing? Ah. Ano yung nasa paa? Paano? Ba't isang paa lang yung nahagis no? Ah! Taan yun, ito pala.
At Barbara's funeral, we swore.
Ito
we'd
isang
never be
joystick
afraid
pala.
again.
Taan yun ang ingat yun. Dalawa paa pala.
Calvin
Nagagalaw pala to.
always wanted to fly.
Nagagalaw pala tong dalawa.
Sam! Calvin! Dinner's ready!
Coming! But that day, he finally made up his mind to do it.
Ang alin? Lumipad siya? Ata yan, nahihilo ko. Ha?
I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that,
Calvin! I'm not gonna tell you again!
maybe if the wind hadn't picked up,
Ata yan.
then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it.
Ata yan, naiilaw.
I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother.
Ah, nakakahilo. Ata yan. Whee! Ah, ata yan.
The day he made up his
Ay,
mind,
ito ay.
and he did.
Ah, lumipad siya.
Calvin's story felt strangely familiar. When I was younger, I remember trying to do the exact same thing.
Nahilo ako dun ah. Eh.
After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again.
Okay. Wala na bang something na words? Ay, dito tayo galing, diba? Tayo bumalik. Ba tayo bumalik? Di ko alam. Joke lang. Diretso na tayo.
The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies.
Ano to? Barbara. Balik nga tayo dun, pwede ba? Barbara
Growing up,
Finch.
I always thought of Barbara as a child star.
Artista. Tangal siya, 1944 siya. To 1960.
I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards.
Barbara Street.
Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one.
Ano to?
Old Jack here with another ghastly tale inspired by America's most unfortunate family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. Now at 16, she
horror.
was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well.
Bakit? Ang pangit.
Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation.
Her biggest fan and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when...
Sino
Now
yun?
that was a great scream.
It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped into a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room.
Tain yung totoo pala.
Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled.
Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried...
A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to...
That came from the basement.
You're right! Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked?
Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box.
Oh?
The secret is to keep winding
Yan yung kanina.
and winding
Pinsa ko
until
natin,
finally
diba?
the key pops out.
Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec.
May susi pala dun.
Later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him, right on cue.
Ang taan yan.
She reached for the music box. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick, but the house was silent.
Pala yung susi doon, taing. Taan yan, meron.
Scratch and imagine the worst.
Taan yan. Action ba to? May lalabanan ba? Taan yan. Taan yan.
The gang's leader is the infamous
Ba't horror na to? Taan yan, horror pala to.
who impaled and then ate his family 10 years ago tonight.
Dilim, ayoko dito. Saan yung daan? Ang dilim. Ah, dito pala.
The old fridge rattled.
Taan yan, nakakagulat na naman to ha. Patay ka. Ay.
Barb,
Hindi mo na siya nagulat.
I was just trying to scare you to help you find your scream.
Well, I'm not scared, Rick. I'm furious.
Then act furious. All I'm getting from you now is that you're hurt and confused.
Oh dear lang yung sinabi.
She threw him out, but she kept a little something to remember him by.
Barb, have you seen my other crutch?
And she was still holding it when she
Eh?
fell asleep watching the late picture show. Hours later...
Barbara! Walter, what's going on up there?
Mataan yan.
Okay, I'm coming up.
Ano yan? Ito na ba yung totoo?
Rick, you're dead, Walter.
Mataan yan. Ito na naman tayo eh. Ayoko na. Ay. Di doon. Ay, ito pala. Atake ka. Ano yun?
Walter, are you there? Walter had vanished,
Huh?
but his bedside radio was still on.
Orcas Island police describe the man as 6 feet tall, with a steel hook for a hand. Residents are urged to lock all doors and windows and notify the police of any suspicious activity.
Ay, taan yan.
Barbara turned, saw the hook man, and was speechless.
Ay, hindi siya sumigaw.
Smashing. And he couldn't get enough of Barbara.
Okay, Barbara, there's gotta be another way out of here.
Loko saan yung daan? Where? Ay, to. Ay, mga passage.
She played her part beautifully.
Ah, ito yung ano ni Molly, ah. Room ni Molly.
Molly's door hadn't been opened in years. The hinges groaned.
Ah, tayo narinig siya, loko. Ha. Boom.
It wasn't
Bang.
but she sensed the story might not be over yet.
Baka si Sven yun, no? Joke lang siya. Saan niya nawala?
Listened for his breathing, but all she heard was...
Patay ka. Nasaan yun?
Someone at the door was dying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. It was coming from inside the house.
Ang tayo yan.
Oh dear.
Oh, di niya talaga sumisigaw eh. Tayo. Joke lang.
For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her life.
Ah, totoong monster pala taan yun.
Myself,
Kala mo naka-costume lang.
here, Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl. She had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night.
Ah, yung boyfriend.
Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard. But that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box is all they ever found of her. Her ear.
Ay.
Now that's what I call a real eerie tale.
Taing yan. Taing pon yun. Ah. Barbara.
All Barbara wanted was to be remembered, as absurd as that comic was. Maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending.
Ano to? Ah, may daan ulit. Wait lang. Baka mayroon pang iba.
Edie's father, Odin, built the original house.
Wala na ba? Wala na. Ano tayo galing kanina?
I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they always want to know about is Barbara.
Kasi sikat siya.
It's funny. All those times I played with the music box and never found the basement key.
Pupunta na ba ako doon? Sa basement? Tanga muna tayo doon. Baka malimutan. Ano to?
A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night.
Nasaan na yun? Tayo yan, dilim dito. Nasaan ba yun? Ah, ito. Ito yung susi. Okay. Meron dito.
Mom said the basement was off limits, unless I wanted another tetanus shot. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages.
Para saan?
I thought maybe she was hiding presents. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that.
Ano to? Dilim mo.
I
Tayo
remember
niyan.
asking Mom once about where Walter had gone. She said after Barbara died, he got as far away as he could. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far.
Lahat sila namamatay. Ba't yan? Kay Walter.
Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years.
30 years siya dyan sa baba.
On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane.
Puro delata lang siya.
Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything.
Lagi nagsha-shake. Kaya 30
Even a
years siya
monster
dito.
on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly.
Ano ba yun?
And then one day, everything just stopped.
Wala na earthquake?
Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave. Well, I still can.
Ayan, may secret pandaanan.
I know it's out there, somewhere.
Sino ba yun, yung monster na yun?
Whatever killed Barbara. And Molly. And Calvin.
Calvin din?
Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day. Even if it kills me. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm
Sure
going to
ka?
appreciate all of it, especially the food.
Tayo na ako hindi ready, taan yan.
I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day.
Okay.
I can already imagine the sun on my face.
At tayo ka na bangga ng tren.
Walter died when I was 6.
Si Walter.
I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here.
2005. Wala silang kaalam-alam. Ay, siya lang pala.
I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me.
Hmm. Okay. Kita niyo na ito din yung daan na yun, ah. Di ba tayo mababangga ng train?
Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistakes she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive.
Tayo niya, may daan pa ba?
Now
Tagal
there's
na to.
only one of us left. Or maybe two. I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. And found out what happened to everyone else.
Okay.
But
Ba't tayo
now knowing the
lumabas?
stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse, we made it real.
Ah, ganun. Tayo lumabas, di pa tayo nakaakyat sa ano? Sa taas na part. Oh. Ah, wala nang daan ngayon. Putol na. Dati meron. Ang ganda dito. Dapat daan dito. Ah, walang daan. Wala nga daan. Babalik na. Akala ko dire-diretso na to eh. Dilim. Hoy, loko ka. Paano bumalik? Paano bumalik? Hindi ako makabalik. Maglakad tayo sa kawalan. Ha? Mataan yan. Ba't bumalik? Ah, bumabalik talaga. Paano tayo babalik dun? Dapat takbo. Bagal na kasi maglakad. Trap na ba tayo dito? Ah, ito pala may daan. Visit.
I don't know if I should even be writing this. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me.
Creepy.
But I thought you should know about your family.
Ang tayo, ba't biglang umiilaw?
And the history you're a part of.
Bawal. Langoy sa anin.
Though to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now.
Oo nga, ako din naliligawan.
People in these stories believed them, for what that's worth. And when you look at the house, that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible.
Loko. Saan yung daan?
I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house?
Ay tayo, papunta tayo sa cemetery.
It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but the pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. 3 of the gerbils are mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery.
Okay. Edith Finch. Sven Finch, okay. Walter. Si Barbara. Calvin. Molly. Ay, nakilala natin itong 5.
I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away.
Ito yung nangyari kay Odin.
She could see it poking out of the water at low tide.
Yun ba yun? Yung lumang bahay?
Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night.
Yun nga, yun. Wala na? Bawal?
Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. She was just trying to do better.
Sam, Gregory, Gus. Sanjay, Kumar, Milton, Finch.
She lost 2 of her brothers, just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us.
Okay. Lagi silang namamatay agad.
I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday. And find everything out for myself.
Ayan siya na lang babuhay.
But looking back on it now,
Angos na ito. Stig niya ito. Okay, diretso.
If she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant.
Ha? Buntis siya?
I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common.
Tingnan natin yung family tree. Si Sam. Sam, Walton. Ah, si Sam. Ah, ito. Grandpa Sam.
They were both pretty intense.
Mukhang intense nga tayo niyan.
Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something.
Ah, ito. Mag-picture na siya. Ah, sino to?
Dawn, I promise, you'll never forget this weekend.
Yes, sir.
These memories are gonna last a lifetime.
Ah, ito.
Am I gonna have to shoot?
Perfect.
It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad.
That's the spirit. Okay, got it.
Got it.
I'm gonna take some pictures, okay?
Just be careful. That camera's older than you are.
Nasaan siya?
You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up.
Wait lang, asan ba siya? Loka, di kita makita. Asan ka?
Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee.
Ato pala.
Hey!
That's a keeper. Still while I take a picture of you.
Ah, si ano na yung mahawak. Sino ba tong
Just
babae?
saying, I'm not always gonna be here, Don. You'll need to remember this stuff if you want to survive.
I'll be fine, Dad.
You know who else thought he was gonna be fine?
Some guy who died.
Don, I'm being serious.
I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out?
Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Don, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph?
Si Don, anak ni Sam? Alin?
Last time I was with my brother Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Your grandpa's Fen taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old logging trail. There were deer everywhere. I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. You don't need to waste any more film on me, kiddo.
Ayaw niya. Pipicturean ko. Ayun.
Good eyes, Don.
Nawala.
Take the shot. Let me get a picture of you.
Si Don ba yung nanay ni ano? Ni Edie? Edith?
Just breathe. Turn off your imagination. Focus on your target. Let me get behind you.
Do I have to do this?
Don, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong.
Ata, ayan.
Great
Welcome.
shot, Don.
Ay, niniyakan niya din.
I'm proud of you, Dawn. Always remember that, okay?
Dad, it's twitching. I think
That's
it's
totally
so...
normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about...
Dad!
Ay, tayo ka. Lag. Napicturan. Napicturan ko.
Of all these stories, that's the one I wish most that my mom had told me.
Oh, okay. Great. Bigyan naman niya si i-edit siya sa Ben. Okay. Uy, may secret passage pero mag-ikot-ikot muna tayo. Wala na ba dito, loves? Sino si Kay?
Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it.
Okay, hunter siya talaga. Ba't bumalik? Ni. Secret passage na naman tayo.
After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot.
Gregory, sino yun? Gregory. Kapatid ni Don. Sam Finch.
Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it.
Ito.
I think he saw things the rest of us don't.
Anong nakikita niyo? Wala yung music pag andito. Ito yan.
Time's over, Gregory. It's time to... Hold on, sweetie. Hello?
Ayan, napapagalaw niya tong ano.
I don't want to talk right now.
Kinokontrol ko yung palaka. Uy.
I wonder what he saw.
Ay, ba't di ko maka...
What his world was like.
Dumami. Huh?
You reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Whatever it was he saw.
Ay, tayo.
It sure made him happy.
Hala. Huh.
I know how silly it sounds. But I worried about a baby being too happy.
Huwag mong sabihin hindi nalalaki to.
Sorry about that, Gregory.
Matain.
I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night.
Damn it.
No, siya yung tumawag.
I don't want Gregory to hear this.
Ano yun? Ah,
I wish she could have told us
nalagyan niya ulit tubig.
about the world we saw. There's so much I don't understand.
Ha? Ataan yan. Ha?
About everything.
Grabe imagination na ito.
But I know what happened wasn't your fault.
Ah, nalunod siya sa ano? Bathtub?
I'm sure it's happened. And he'd want you to be happy too. Good luck, Kay. Love, Sam.
Taan yan. Okay. Nalunod. 1 year old lang siya. Gregory. Kaidan. Sigos.
I can't
Sige.
imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet
Si Don kasi yung nanay niya, diba? Ito naman, kapatid ni
poem for
nanay niya.
Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us kids, at least not very hard, before the day my brother said with teenage disregard that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard.
Lupit ng, tula. Ah, babalik ta rin.
Come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but though he'd never met her, we don't need a stepmom, were the words that I
now
remember.
pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Nagko-stepmom sila. Galing nga, di nasasabit ah. Ah, andito.
When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and as a sign held up his middle finger.
Raulo.
The wind picked up and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power. But all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder."
Loko. Powers ba ni ano to? Negos? Anong gagawin? Ah, ipapasok pala dun. Atay. Ayun, daganan.
I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, the sea, and foam. But I didn't. Until we found you.
Saan?
She never talked about him, but Mom told me once if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus.
Hmm. Isa pala yun. Ano to? Sweep, trash, mop, mower, be a baby. Si Gregory. Jump rope, jump.
My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died.
Ano lo? Sa pinatas pa yun.
At the time, it was as far away as she could get. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay.
Ah, yung Sanjay, si tatay.
My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English.
Okay. Wait lang, ano to?
Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died.
Ito muna tayo.
Louis was born a year later.
Ah, yung panganay. Kuya niya. Lalaki ba si Louis? 7. Hindi, tataas tayo.
When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go.
Okay.
I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back.
Edith. Milton, Louis. Ah, silang magkakapatid.
And to see kids in the house again. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal.
Ano to? Parang ano? Classroom.
But it didn't last.
Bakit?
The beginning
Atay.
at the end was Milton's 10th birthday,
Mil.
when Edie gave him a castle.
Okay. Ito yung castle na yun.
After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings.
Ano sa paintings? Ito, papasok din pala tayo. Ay, ang stig na ito.
I think Edie was happy to finally have another painter in the family.
Ay, tayo. Pataas pala ka lang, pababa. Ang angos dito. Ang galing. Ganda dito.
Milton Finch in The Magic Paintbrush.
Huh? Ha? Hindi ako naging totoo yung drawing niya. Ay, taan yan. Nawala. Pumasok siya doon. Sa drawing niya.
I was 4 when Milton disappeared.
Ah, yun yung dahil kung ba't siya nawala. Yun yung una niyang sinabi kanina eh. Nag-disappear si Milton. Ito pala yung dahilan. Pumasok siya sa drawing niya. Taan yan.
Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors.
Ah, okay.
Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out.
Creepy dito sa bahay na to. Puro ano. Ah, hindi. Hindi, pero maganda din pala kasi. Tabing dagat. Ay, dito tayo galing.
Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Louis blamed himself.
Okay.
After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room. Until Mom got him a job at the cannery.
Taas na ito. Okay. Taas na nga. Tayo may shisha.
Louis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on.
Ay, hindi. Tayo yan. Legalize marijuana. Ah, okay. Ba't may ganyan? Anong console niya? Wonder Turbo. Tayo yung astig nun.
Louis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot.
Same. Pares tayong bad. Tsaka lagi namamatay.
Dear Mrs. Finch, as Louis's psychiatrist, I can understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Newly sober, I believe Louis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. He kept working at the cannery.
Ano gagawin? Paano bitawan?
But he
hagis pala. Medyo sabog siya. Okay, gets ko na kung paano.
In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to...
Hindi dahil sa drugs. Began to. Ayan, matindi din imagination niya.
I asked him to describe it. He said he started small.
Ang hirap pa, dalawa yung kinokontrol ko, isang nagpuputol ng ulo. Tsaka isang...
Imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then something moved.
Astig, dalawa yung kinokontrol ko. Bats?
And toads.
Toad? Taan yan, ano to?
And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head.
Nung hinati ko yung isda, nahati din yung isda dun sa loob.
He took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. But he found something more.
Ang taan yan, naging 3D.
I worried about him then. Daydreaming at the cannery. I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee.
No?
Methodical, tireless, focused.
Pero lumilipad isip niya.
Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd made a new friend.
May aso na siya. Para siya nasa video game.
On the edge of a city he named Lewis Topia.
Tayan RPG, pre.
He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then he made musicians.
Huh? Sumasayo ko na rin yung kamay.
And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something.
Pasayawin natin tong kamay niya. Tug, 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 tug.
Imagination grew stronger.
Tayo, lalamunin ka na niyan.
He no longer spoke at the cannery. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. So he could do whatever he wished. He held an election for mayor.
Election?
And he won.
Parang sa Mario yan,
They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him.
Oh, sabi na nga ba eh. Ang hirap maghiwa ng isda habang kinagalaw yung kabila. Oh, nice. Mabangga tayo. Bawal mabangga. Bawal mabangga.
St. Louis.
St. Louis. Ang hirap kontrolin.
From our reality. Minneapolis. Until one day he forgot to go home from the cannery.
Minneapolis.
Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on.
Kinain na siya ng imagination.
In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a
Beautiful Prince, Handsome Queen. Hindi tayo sa Handsome Queen. Interesting.
handsome queen. The queen was on her own quest for
Radiant Rainbows.
radiant rainbows.
Ataan yan. Nice rainbow. Ala, loko ka.
He followed the sound of her
electric sitar. Ano yung sitar?
electric sitar. His chase led him to a golden palace east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound.
Ataan yan. Loko ka. Wala na akong makita. Hindi ko na makita yung
The
hatian.
world was all in his imagination.
Ataan yan. Naging 3D na. Pero may isda pa din. Ayos.
But he was so proud of having created it.
Hati. Boom. Nice.
In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace.
Seryoso ka? Loko, ikaw itong nag-chop.
My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him.
Hello. Ito si Louis. Ano? Hello. Pakinakita isda eh. Ba't pwede ko ba isubuto kay Louis yung isda? At ayan, nag-i-improve yung graphics nung ano niya, nung game niya.
He began to forget the world we know.
Ay, okay. Ito na pala yung real world.
It pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker.
Ayaw niya. Ito. Ito si Louis.
He began to despise the man with a royal contempt.
Seryoso? Yan yung ginagawa niya kanina, oh. Pero, tayo niyan, sabog na siya. Hoy.
I still thought I could save him.
Tapos?
Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. The palace would be packed with his companions.
Tayo, wala naman kayong mga mukha eh. Ang high-tech naman dito sa palace na to.
Including the wise Calico who'd insisted on inviting him.
Nasaan na yung handsome queen?
His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do.
Ano?
Bend down his head.
Ha? Loko ka? Loko ka? Bend down his head, loko, chachap-chapin. Okay, no choice.
And the rest I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him.
My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie.
Okay.
I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. But I understand why we left.
Bakit?
My mom ended up leaving everything behind.
No, ito yung picture nila. Tayo di ako makaalis. Stuck ako. Ano yun? Intelligent to learn Edith Finch. Ah, may libre yung nanay niya.
What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner.
Ang alin? Edith? Ah, ito pala.
But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night.
Okay, ano yun? Ang isang room niya. Pinakataas.
That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper, when she raised her glass and said,
"To our final night together, and all our final nights apart."
Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol. Some of your medications are very
Edith,
specific.
I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now.
I'm sorry, you're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just enjoy our last...
I'm not leaving.
Edith, you're excused.
Hey.
The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance.
Ah.
Or that Edie had a key to it.
The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has a right to know these stories.
My children are dead because of your stories.
Ay, ganun.
I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning. Okay?
The History of the Finches by Edith Finch.
Dear Edith, there's so many stories I wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out.
Hanggang saan?
It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground.
Ah.
There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of the ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. God, it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life.
Taan yan, nag-super low tide.
But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way.
Ay, yun lang. Taan yan.
I got turned around.
Saan?
For a while, I wandered. I started seeing things.
Ay, taan yan. Nasaan na tayo? Diretso lang ba?
Things I'd forgotten had ever existed.
Ang alin?
But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. That night, a lot of things came back to me.
Ito na yung old house.
I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and...
Edith, what are you
Taan
doing
yan.
here?
It's
Hindi na
mine.
tuloy.
Edith!
Mom, you're gonna rip it! Let go!
Hatak, hatak.
I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car.
Ay. Tapos?
I never saw Great Grandma Edie again.
Oh.
The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone.
Oh, okay.
After that, we moved around a lot.
We
both tried to make the best of it.
Huh.
A few years went by. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot.
Taan yan, mamamatay na din siya.
The rest
Nanay
happened
niya.
pretty quickly. She got better for a while, And then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you.
You?
I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes.
Saan?
And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is.
Nantain yan. Naging abnormal na din
This
ako
journal
tapos.
was supposed to be for you.
Sino ba yung kausap ko?
But now I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you. And tell you all these stories myself.
Makausap niya yung ano niya.
But I guess if you're reading this now,
Baby niya sa tiyan.
things didn't work out that way.
Parang alam ko na kung ano yung parang tunnel na yun Yung butas na yun
It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck.
Anak niya na to. Ay, taan yan tapos na. Okay. Weird nung ano yung huling title Alam niyo na, alam ko na. Ay. Ian Dallas. Okay. Tapos na. Bye-bye.